Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is James Reyes. I am the box office artist, 25 years of professional artist, worked for Marvel, DC, Transformers, video games, movies, and I'm right here live this morning on a Saturday morning. And what are we drawing today? We are drawing, you guys voted for it, we are drawing the Spider-Man family from Marvel Rivals. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Saturday, still streaming, still going strong. Today's January 11th. 11 days straight, we've been streaming every single day, and I've been having so much fun streaming and hanging out with all of you guys. So wherever you are in the world right now, whatever time it is for you right now, thank you for joining in on the stream. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, concerns, you want to draw. It's your chance to draw right now. Go grab yourself a pen, a paper, a piece of paper. Maybe you could draw the same thing I'm drawing today, or you could draw whatever you want. At the end of the day, I also want to see it. In fact, I'm going to put up here, I'm going to say, give me, let's see here, I want to answer your questions too. So, have questions for me today? For today's stream. And today's what? Today is November 11th. Or November. I'm in the past, guys. Or in the future. January 11th. Comment here. And I will answer in stream. Have any art, life, entertainment, wrestling, and I will answer in stream. Okay, so guys, if you have any, if you want me to answer in depth, this is where you answer today. Okay, comment here, hit the comment button, and then ask away your questions here. Okay, guys. But anyway, let's get going. Oops. My camera's not even on. What's going on? What's going on today? We got to put the camera on. I can't forget to put the camera on. All right, there you go. Camera's on. By the way, a shout out to my buddy Knuckle Sandwich. I'll actually show you guys. This was the commission that we were doing the other day. I'm going to use this to focus my camera. But this is the commission we did the other day. He asked me for a commission. This is what we finished. I got to be shipping this out next week. But this is the commission I did for him. I'm just going to use that to focus, but I finished it full color. So that is for my buddy Knuckle Sandwich. Let's ship that out to him next week. But also means my camera is actually big. So I'm going to actually shrink this down, my camera. So you guys can see a little bit better there. You can see my desk is my red desk is getting a little bit dirty, but that's okay. That's okay. So how's everyone doing this morning? Hello, DFL Artist, TP Stroman, Edward. How you doing, Chris? Good morning, Rob. Good morning to all of you guys. Okay, and then let me just put the chat up here. So wherever you're watching, wherever you are in the world, let's go ahead and get going on this Marvel Rivals piece. Now, I am hoping, secretly, I could draw this in a way where it would actually fit in, fit with my other Marvel Rivals piece, that I could kind of like edit it together. So, Chris Hawk is asking, where can we go to request a commission? Okay, so I will let you know that right now. So if you want to request a commission, and again, guys, I am working on the site right now. Right now, it hasn't been updated yet, but I will show you right now. Okay. This is my site, jamesreyesmedia.com. If you go here to contact, okay, I'll actually put a link here. If you go to contact and you click this button, commission request, okay? This is where you request a commission, okay? Commission request, right down here what commissions that you would like, okay? All right? For commission request, please answer all the questions from the opportunities page. So if you go to opportunities here and commissions, this is This is, if you could answer these, that would be great. But again, guys, I'm working on the site right now, and my apologies. Like, I'm a one-man show right now. I'm doing my best to stream every day, to try to get at least 3-4 videos out every week. It's been very tough for me to get this out, even though I've been advertising this in every video, and I understand this. But God willing, I am aiming for Monday to have this. The strike is now over, but you should be seeing an updated page very, very shortly. Okay, guys? So thank you so much for your patience. And it upsets me because, I had a lot of people visit the site, and it's my own fault. So there you go. Ironside Gaming, good to see you. How long do you expect this drawing to take? We'll see. Because it's Saturday, I don't, I have a little bit of a leeway. Here because it's Saturday. But I think if I do have a hard out, I would say roughly around 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It's around 5:40. I started a little bit later than I was expecting to. I did want to start right at 5 today. Little bit of a sleep in. Today. Why not? We've been going hard. And I already don't like the pose yet. I already don't like it. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. But thank you so much to those who were able to find the commissions, even though, I didn't ever, I talked about having commissions, and a lot of you found it, even though I didn't really fix the site so you could get it. A lot of people still requested commissions. I will be doing, my hope is to do one a day. I have a few that I'm negotiating right now. So right now, guys, I am hoping we are going to be drawing four characters here. Sausage Demon says, "How are you good at art?" Well, thank you so much, Sausage Demon. You're the best. Angel Bob said, "Good morning, loving the recent picks." Thank you so much. Draw the Joker in a Marvel style. I should. You know what I should do instead of Marvel style? I should do Marvel Rivals style. That's what I should do right now. We should do that. That's actually not a bad idea. I actually kind of like that idea. If I was going to do like a DC character or whatever, I'd draw it like in the Marvel Rivals. Like at the very least in the proportions of a Marvel Rivals piece, I think that would be a lot of fun. I'm loving the style. So good to see you, Angel Bob. Good to see you. Loving the more recent picks. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Good morning, Kunloye. Good to see you. Kunloye has been here for pretty much almost all streams this year. And thank you to everyone who's been with me so far. 11 days in. This will be the 11th drawing that we've done. Actually 12th drawing because of the commission. But the hope is I would get a commission a day, which would be nice. And along with the regular drawings we do in the mornings, right? So that would be the hope, but we'll see. Sasha Demon saying, "Got a shout out." Yes, shout out, my friends. What pens do you use to color in characters? Now, the ones I did for the commission, I use Copic markers, and but usually I do digital. And for those of you who ask for color for the commissions, I give you the choice. You could either do digital or you could do Copics. If it's digital, I would print out one. I would also send you, I would print out one along with the original, right? So you have one to hang. So you'll do a nice printout with me signing it, of course. Which art supplies do you use? Okay. Right now I'm using the cheapest of the cheap. Here, this is a big pencil, guys. A big pencil. How much a big pencil go for these days? How much are these things? Like 10 for $1, something like that. And I always say, guys, if you're learning, if you are new to my channel and you are learning, that's all you need. You only need a pencil and a piece of paper. It doesn't even have to be a blank piece of paper. It can be a lined piece of paper because you're learning. You're learning, and all that will come. All of that will come. Yeah, and besides, you see artists nowadays, like, man, the artist field is so saturated now in social media that, you know, you have those artists that just do pencil or just do pen. You see those guys? Just do pen. So we have our little niche of artists here, and my hope is that with you guys here that are watching, if you're just entertained by the type of art I do, welcome. I appreciate it. If you're into comic book art, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you're an artist, a budding artist, or a young person who wants to get into art, I appreciate you being here, and I'm going to try to give you my wealth of 25 years of knowledge here working, you know, again, I don't want to say all my stats again, but, you know, I've worked on a lot of different fields of art, so I could definitely help, or at least give you some advice. Now, again, technology changes every day. I'm not too familiar with the newer stuff. Like even in terms of drawing, like I haven't used Procreate myself. I have not used that. I'm more of a Photoshop guy. I've always been a Photoshop guy. But man, Marvel Rival style, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm just gonna do Marvel Rival style. There you go. There you go. What brand brush pen? I never saw that comic book artist use the brush pen and control the line weight that way. Well, you know, to be fair, inkers, professional inkers, they actually use India ink. Or they used to anyway. I'm not sure what they use now. But the good thing about India ink is that it's permanent. You could look at the same piece of artwork 10 years from now, and there would be no fade at all. It wouldn't be faded at all. If you use like a marker like this, right? This one lasts a little bit longer. Or you use a brush pen like this. I think over time, the art might fade just a tiny bit from before that, you know. But India ink will stay that particular, you know, darkness. And that's one great thing about the India ink. One artist on social media I look at a lot now is a guy named, you guys probably know him, Jolly Arts. He inks with India ink, you know, but that's been what comic art has been using forever. I think he uses it just because of the sound it makes, right? Just because of the sound it makes. So, draw Injustice in a Marvel Rival style. That's actually not a bad idea, you know. I should probably do that. Let's see here. I think you're exhausted from formality questions like, hi, how are you? What do you use? No, not at all, TP Strong. I enjoy answering questions like that. I do. Because I understand that not everybody watches every stream or watches every second of every stream. So I totally don't mind answering the same questions over and over again. I actually hope my answers get better over time, my friend. You know, any way I can be of value to you guys. That's all I can hope for at the end of the day, you know? So again, guys, I am designing this like, I'm actually going to be fitting this beside the Jeff the Shark piece. Because I'm designing this, that's my hope. I can actually combine this. So when we do, because I did want to do the Fantastic Four today. I am happy we did this one. We ended up doing this one. This got quite a bit of the vote yesterday. But, you know, that's actually not a bad idea, Arian, saying draw the Injustice Marvel style. Yeah. drawing Injustice characters in a Marvel Rival style. That'd actually be very cool. Sausage Demon says, I'm very young, want to get an art. How would you recommend I start, digital or traditional? Traditional. Now, if you have the option to go digital, you know, why do you have to choose? Like, do both. Do both. And most artist roles will be digital these days, right? Unless someone's actually into fine art. You know, definitely learn the craft, learn the skill. It's very valuable. You know, when you're able to draw traditionally, you know, once you're able to do it, it's very, very valuable. What's it called? Rewarding in that sense. But I will also tell you, Ariane, and maybe I'm going to be the only artist to tell you this. If I were you, because you're a young artist, I'd definitely keep your ear to the ground with all the AI stuff. In fact, if you learn how to do it, you know, learn how to do it. I would say do both. Learn how to do both AI and draw traditionally. Because you're a young artist. If I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I don't know what the future holds for the traditional artist. I don't. I really don't. I would love to tell you, you know, all this AI stuff's going away. It's not going away. Of course not. It's not going away. Don't be naive, guys. It's not going away. So again, I don't want to harp on AI too much. We've been talking about it ad nauseum for the past few days. So try to do that. Am I a comic artist for Marvel? Okay, I was. I'll say that. I was. I've worked on various titles for Marvel before. So again, just a brief history of my credentials. Okay, a brief history of my credentials. I worked in comics for 6 years. I've worked for Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image Comics, a company called Dreamwave on Transformers and IDW. I did a lot of Transformers work. If you are, I'm probably more known for my Transformers work, if anything, in comic books. And then after that, I've worked in film for 9 years. I worked in film for 9 years, and I worked on, as a visual effects artist, I worked on movies like Watchmen and Percy Jackson, and I've worked on, you know, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Multiple titles, Stargate, multiple titles. I did that for 9 years. I had a cup of coffee in video games. I worked on Splinter Cell Blacklist, but again, 25 years of art. But then 12 years ago, that's when I decided to give this YouTube thing a shot. That YouTube thing led to me to be doing marketing art for Disney. So I've done work for Star Wars, and I've done work for Marvel as well. I've done work for Marvel, doing marketing art for Marvel. So wide array, Arian. Wide array. Right. Good day, Joseph. Good day, Joseph. Good to have you here. Okay, so yeah, that's good enough for a layout for Spider-Man. Let's go ahead and do Venom now. I just call out some reference for Venom. You're welcome, Sausage. You're welcome. So Venom will be like this. We'll do Venom something like this, okay? Something like that. Marvel Rival style equals Valor style equals Marvel Rivals. I agree with you. There you go. She'll make you good at everything. Technology is a new pencil and paint. Yep. Yeah. It's tough out there, man. Because the hardest part is people just, the only one who cares is artists. We're the only one who care. The regular folk don't care. They don't care. It's like, when I say regular folk, like the people who aren't artists, business owners especially, they don't care. What they care about at the end of the day is bottom line. Bottom line. Will this get me point A to point B faster, cheaper? And it's all about the faster and cheaper for them, right? AI definitely could do both. Make it faster and cheaper for them. So, as a business owner myself, I understand that. I definitely understand that. And again, it sucks, but it's the way the world's going. So if I'm going to give you real advice, because I don't want you to be left behind. I don't want these kids out here to be left behind. Which tutorials on my channel would I recommend to watch first? I would say, well, it depends what you learn. Like, I have a few tutorials. I did them years ago, right? So the tutorials I did on my channel, they're from 2016. That almost 10 years ago. 10 years ago. But I would say it all depends what you want to learn. Like, I have one on doing heads. I have one on superhero anatomy. Like stuff like that. I have a bunch of them. So definitely check them out at your leisure, okay? Whichever one you want to do. I think I actually have a playlist of them. So it all depends what you want to learn. If you want to learn perspective, how to draw buildings and stuff, I have a whole bunch on perspective. So if anyone knows perspective, it's this guy right here. I've trained in perspective. That was what I learned in school. I took technical illustration in school, so it's like it's been beating into me. Richard says it's here from California again, 2:55 a.m. But I'm glad you're getting up for these. You're not staying up late for them, Richard. I appreciate it. Sniper, thank you for asking. As well as we can. It's been 2005. It's been 4 years now. We're getting up to 4 years now. Life moves on, and that's what we do. Life moves on, goes on. You never forget the past, but at the same time, you got to move on to the future, because that's all you have. At the end of the day, kids are doing well, doing very well in school, very successful. Couldn't be more proud of my kids right now. They're doing fantastic. So, and at the end of the day, that's all you could ask for, And I'm just happy to be here with you guys, man. Happy to be with you guys. Shout out, Jiro. Shout out. Shout out. Yeah, so. Shout out. Everybody wants a shout out. Shout out. Which programs? Oh, thank you so much, Richard. Appreciate it. Sausage Demon, which program would you recommend? Again, whatever you have available. At your young age, my friend, you're on young age. Start with one skill and go from there. Start with one skill. Pick one. Pick one skill. Okay? If you are going to learn how to actually draw, stick with pencil and paper, because it's probably the easiest. It's readily available. You don't need a plug. Okay? You don't need a plug. Stick with the one skill and try to perfect. You're so young. There's so much time. Okay? There's no need to rush anything. And don't even worry about supplies at this point. Don't even worry about spending massive amounts of money at front. Now, it is nice to say, I use the same, supplies as my favorite artist. Of course, that's nice. Of course, that's nice. And I will tell you what they are. Don't worry, I still am going to tell you what they are. But again, don't focus on that stuff. Don't focus on that stuff. Focus on, getting your, learning anatomy, learning posing, learning, proportions. Proportions are huge, again, learning how to draw backgrounds, learning buildings, stuff like that. And all you really need is a cheap pencil, a ruler, and a piece of paper. That's all you need. That's all you need to get started. Preferably a blank piece of paper, but a paper, even like typewriter paper is good enough for you, you know what I mean? When you're starting off, and draw every day. That's even more important than that, okay? Every single day. Whatever you are working on today will be 100 times better, I'd say, in a year, okay? So just draw every day. Work hard every day, okay? Do a little bit every day. That's all you can do. And then don't worry about perfection with every drawing. Just with every drawing at your age, with every drawing at your age, make it everyone better than the last drawing, okay? And don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about it. Like, I wouldn't even say, put every single drawing on social media. You're doing it to learn, right? Because, again, you're going to look at your stuff today, 5 years from now, and you're like, man, what was I thinking? No matter how good you think it is today. No matter how good it is today, 5 years from now, you're going to look at it and you're like, oh, what was I thinking? That's going to be you. That's going to be you. Hey, it might even be next week. It's going to look for you. Now, the only exception to that rule is me. I think my artwork hasn't changed in 20 years. It looks like... You look at all my old comic stuff. Look at my stuff today. It's like, it's the same thing. Oh, there you go. Hey, you're webmaster. There you go. Oh, you lost your old phone. That's it's called. Sorry to hear that, my friend. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Because I think that's the thing right now today, and that's the problem with younger artists, even older artists. They do one piece of art, right? No matter how long it takes them, right? 5 minutes could be days, right? Could take them days. Fantastic. What's the next thing they do? They post it on social media, and they look at their likes for a month and not do anything new. They look at their likes for a month and not, and that's all they care about. Who's going to like their artwork at that point? No, you're young, man. Yeah, you're young, right? Do another one. And another one. And another one. And another one. What's his name? Who am I quoting there again? What's his name? I forgot his name. DJ Khaled. And another one. Post it. If you want to post it, go for it. But don't, don't be, what's it called? Smitten by the likes. Okay? Don't. To be honest, I wouldn't even go, unless the person who's commenting is an actual artist themselves, I wouldn't even be worried about what people are commenting about what your artwork is. Because I guarantee, no matter what artwork you post, it needs improvement, okay? I guarantee that. And the only one who could really tell you what's wrong with it is someone who's an actual artist themselves, right? Sometimes we get this false sense of security sometimes when we have a good comment. You're like, your stuff's right. Hey, hooray. But, you know what I mean? Who's liking your art? There you go. That's important. The who is different than the amount, That's right. Okay, but anyway, Chris Hawk asked, did you ever draw still life when you were younger in college? Yes, absolutely. We did that all the time in college. I drew plenty of the still lifes in college. We'd set it up in the middle. There'd be some cans, some vegetables and stuff, and then we would draw it, or we would even paint it. There you go. Draw with Janine. Hope everything is good. I'm glad. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Arian says, "What? How do you feel about Marvel's downfall?" Okay, and I will say that Marvel isn't what it was when Endgame was around. Of course, there was going to be some sort of honeymoon, as we say. But well, what a horrible year for movies last year. But then again, there was only one Marvel movie that came out last year, and that did well. That was Deadpool Wolverine. But what a horrible year for comic book movies last year. They just had bad movies come out. That's what people were saying. I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of them. So who am I to say? I'm not going to be the one to say that they were bad. I didn't even watch them. But let's hope with all this new, with Kevin Feige getting back the power that he had before. He keeps calling me, this guy. Just stop calling me Kevin Feige. We will see. And we're going to see very, very soon. Captain America's coming out next month. We got Thunderbolts coming out a little bit later this year. We have the Daredevil series, which I can't wait for. The Daredevil series is going to be awesome. Right? So we got a lot of good stuff in the pipeline here. So I'm a very, that was the past. The past was the past. Let's move on. If there's anyone who's about, there's bad stuff that happened in the past, and now it's time to move on. I'm the guy. I'm the guy to talk about that, right? Whatever happened in the past. Past is the past, okay? What happened to Marvel in the past few years, that happened, okay? And we'll see what happens in the future. They try to course correct, and that's all you can really do. You course correct, and then, and then you do your best, and you see what happens, so. Do I think comic book movies have run their course? No, I have not. I don't. Because that's the thing, right? It's like anything can be fixed with a good story. All it takes is one good movie and we're good. Like everyone's excited for that Superman movie, right? Everybody's excited for that Superman movie. Say what you will about the costume. Of course, me personally, I prefer the Henry Cavill version of the costume, but the other one doesn't look bad. I think it looks great. Looks fantastic. Hey, Mario, good morning. Good morning. So when Aaron says downfall, a lot of their stuff was not as well received. Let's just call it that. It wasn't as well received, I would say. But yeah, because to group them together as comic book movies, I think that's unfair. Because yes, they all derive from comic books, but a lot of movies derive from source material. It's not that. It's like good story, engaging story, shot well, good movie, right? That's what it is, right? I don't think it's just because it came from a comic book that means it's not going to be a good movie, right? So it all depends. Now the problem with Marvel, though, I think the problem with Marvel, and again, personal opinion. And hello, Flynn. Welcome from the Philippines. The problem that Marvel had, I think they were getting way too inside baseball, as we say. Way too reliant on people. People had to watch all of their stuff, all TV shows, everything to get what was going on in the movie. I think that was a mistake, personally. That was a big mistake, personally, I think. Because the average fan went into a Marvel movie, they were just lost. They didn't know what was going on. And that was the issue. So, and yeah, that's just me spouting here. Okay, so I'm going to do Peni Parker now. Lay out Peni Parker, and then we're going to actually get into inking these guys. So right now I'm just looking up some references for Peni Parker and the mech. Kind of like that. That's not bad. Let's see if I could. got the mech up here. We got the mech up here like that. Chris says, love Marvel, but Dark Horse had some banger titles. Like, can you tell me which titles you like, my friend? Sewerbat says, you're late again. You're late, Sewerbat. You missed everything. Oh, my gosh. You missed when Kevin Feige called again. James Gunn was on the line. I had an interview with James Gunn just now. He offered me this gigantic job. I turned him down. I said, no. Why do that when I can live stream for all of you right now? I just joking about it. I love live streaming for all of you guys right now. This is fun. Definitely the highlight of my day is hanging out with you guys today. So, man, you're fast on the rough on this layout. Do you think it's important to not spend too much time on what pose to use that gets roughed out? I actually think it's more important to spend more time. Once the layout's done, everything else is gravy. It's just like, it's just like cleaning it up. Like, to be honest, I'm talking way more than I thought I would when I'm doing this layout here, because layouts usually is the time I can't concentrate too much on talking. Like, I have to actually sit down and focus, focus on what I'm doing, trying to work out issues and stuff. But this one came out pretty, I won't say seamless, but it's like it just came together okay. Like, I came into the stream with a little bit of an idea in my head. I knew I wanted them going like this way. That's what I knew I wanted that, okay? Because the hope is actually, I'm probably going to try to edit this together with some of the other Marvel Rivals pieces I've done and kind of put it all together maybe later on. That's the hope. And maybe I'll do Peni Parker here. She'll have her arm out here like this. Because that's another thing that a lot of young artists don't get, how important this stage is that I'm doing right now. This is more important than the finishing. This is more important than any line I could draw on this paper. Because if this looks good, it doesn't matter how much detail I put on here, right? Now, I am a detailed artist. You guys know that. I do my best to get as detailed drawing, but detail does not make the drawing. It doesn't. This makes the drawing. This makes the drawing. I could draw, this should work so well. It doesn't matter how many lines I put on this. It should still work. Okay? That's how important this stage is right now. Okay? Because I see these guys, these very, very detailed artists, but what they are doing is they're copying another artist. Right? So I actually messaged some of these guys, like, this is fantastic, but can you come up with your own original pose? Right? Because people are like, they get comments that they're copying this artist. They're like, but I spent all this time on this art. Like, yeah, that's great. I think that's fantastic. I messaged to these guys. I'm like, that's fantastic. But maybe what will get people not to say that is if you start coming up with your own poses. And they're like, oh, I'm not good at that, right? No, this is the main part here, guys. This is the main part of the drawing. This is the meat. This is the meat. This is the dinner right here. Right? Do you see here? This is dinner, guys. Layout, foundation. That's right, Mario. This is dinner. Okay? All those little lines afterwards, that's icing. That's dessert. That's the icing on the cake. All of that means nothing without this part. Okay? So this is, I would say, if there's anything you spend the most time on, it's this. Now, again, with my years of experience, I could just rough it out very loosely and then ink on top because that's how I draw. Okay? So that's just the experience. That's the experience, right? So Mario's hungry now. Who is this behind Venom? This is Peni Parker and Peni Parker's mech. So this will be Peni Parker here. This is mech. So we got a nice thing going. Again, the reason I'm designing it like this is because I actually want to include this with my other Marvel Rival pieces I'm doing. So that's what I'm trying to do. There you go. Yes, that's how you make steaks, Sewerbat. There you go. There you go. That's a good thing I had dinner. I just woke up. I haven't ate anything. I haven't ate anything. I could actually use some water, man. I might take a tiny bit of break to grab some water, guys. Got me all fired up here on a Saturday morning. There you go. Will you make another Marvel Rivals? Yes, yes. This is definitely not the last Marvel Rivals piece we do. I am liking that. Someone suggested take other characters and draw them in a Marvel Rivals style instead of just Marvel Rivals style. That'd be interesting to do. That'd be a lot of fun. But then, I can't really draw it. If you do Marvel Rivals style, you know what really makes the Marvel Rivals? The coloring. The coloring really makes it, It'll be Marvel Rivals-esque. Marvel Rivals proportions, Let's see here. By the way, Chris, I'll probably do that one day, do a Universal Monsters piece. I'll probably do one of those. Hey. Why not? How do you start drawing without breakfast? When you've been on every diet under the sun for your whole life. You try every diet under the sun your whole life. Not having breakfast is not a big deal. By the way, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, by the way, also. So. Yeah, Psycho. But Echo says Marvel seems like Marvel's Valorant. We talked about that earlier. But at the end of the day, it's marketing, guys. That's what this is. Me naming it this way, me calling this quote-unquote Marvel style. You know why I call it Marvel style? Because James Ray's style isn't as appealing to the regular guy. Maybe to you guys. Maybe you guys it is. But to the regular folk, as we say, or someone who hasn't watched my channel, James Ray's style is not as appealing. So I'm just working on how the symbol's going here, guys. So we're going to get to the inks in a minute here. I'm just trying to... Because his symbol's actually a little complicated. So I want to make sure that's in the right place, With this and down. Yeah. It's a little complicated, this symbol here, guys. I won't lie. This is, well, I'm kind of confused. How about Big Willie style? Getting jiggy with it. Da, da, na, 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 na. Slap. Anyway. Chris Hawk ate pancit for breakfast. Yum. Pancit means, pancit, long life, as they say. You get long life from pancit. Oh, but someone asked me if I speak Tagalog fluently. I don't at all. I don't at all. I actually never learned. I never learned Tagalog. I understand enough where I know when someone's calling me fat. Filipino parents do that, no? Filipino parents do that. I think it's just like a method of conversation. They don't mean it in a hurting way. It's like, oh, you're getting fat, huh? Oh, you're getting fat, huh? They don't do it in a hurtful way. Or that's not their intention anyway. Guys, I'm a very intention guy. You could tell when somebody intends on doing something or not. I'll get upset at people more if they intend on hurting someone. But I can also tell, for example, when a Filipino parent calls me fat, I can tell it's not out of malice or anything like that. James, you're getting fat, huh? You're getting fat. Okay. So I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, we're talking about me speaking Filipino. Yeah. So I've never learned Tagalog, but again, I know enough when something bad says about me. There you go. When something bad said about me, I know. So I know when somebody's calling me ugly and stuff like that. That I know. That I know. But no, I'm not fluent at all. Sometimes I can pick out here and there. Sometimes like I'll have some elderly people talk to me, and they'll talk to me in Tagalog. And if I can kind of pick it out, I won't stop them from speaking Tagalog. They usually catch me though when they realize they don't understand. But if I can get enough, like just enough, right? So I won't say I don't know 100% anything. I know a little bit, but not enough. So. Chris Hawk says, my grandfather gave me enough of the language to get in trouble with his sisters. Taught you German? That's awesome. There you go. Let's see here. Mario's going to eat French fries and fried eggs. Nice. My friend. I need to eat speaking of the Filipino in me, I need to eat fried eggs with rice. I have to. That is my comfort food for me. I think because that's what I grew up with. It's definitely a grown up with thing. That I've always eaten fried eggs with rice growing up. So I can't eat that now. I'm not eating rice right now. Again, always on a diet. But yeah, that would be my comfort food. People ask me, what's your last meal gonna be? You haven't seen that trend on TikTok where people are gonna show you their last meals? Or you have one day left. What are you eating? Type thing. Like if some reason I was on, I was, if I had to have a last meal, that would be my last meal. Eggs and rice. That's what it would be. Maybe add in a little bit of fried chicken in there. Just a little bit. A little bit of fried chicken in there. Eggs and rice all day, every day, baby. There you go. Which Spider-Man artist is my favorite? I will go. There's lots of great ones out there. Like for example, Mark Bagley is fantastic. Let me turn on this light here, by the way, guys. I just realized this light's not on all the way. Mark Bagley is fantastic. Love his stuff. Again, Mark, talk about guys with, oh, hey, New Jerk. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Chris Hawk says, spam and eggs for my last meal with kimchi. That sounds pretty good, too. Won't lie, that sounds pretty good, too. What was I talking about again? What's going on with me today? What's going on with me today, guys? What was I talking about? What was I talking about? Richard, help me out. What was I talking? Or not Richard. Richard. What was I talking about? I totally lost train of thought there. Oh, okay. There you go. We're talking about Spider-Man artists. Yeah. I would say personally, my favorites for Spider-Man artists. Okay. I love the way Mark Bagley poses his characters, but I would say Mark Bagley is one of those guys you should look at for work ethic. Work ethic, guys. That guy is insane. He draws between 1.5 to 3 pages per day, 6 days a week, and he'll do 1 page on Sunday. That's what he does. It's crazy. But Chris Hawk mentioned, probably my favorite Spider-Man artist is Todd McFarlane. He is my favorite. He was the first one to develop the big eye style. Everyone was drawing his eyes small until Todd McFarlane came. So he kind of revolutionized Spider-Man in that way. So I would say Todd McFarlane's probably right up there. Like I've seen some really good ones recently. I just don't know who the artists are. I'm not too familiar with the newer artists. But also, my friend David Finch does a pretty fine Spider-Man. Also, I love the way he draws Spider-Man. Also, I love the way he draws anything, but definitely Spider-Man also. So See John Romita, some Richard saying John Romita, right? I'll be honest. John Romita's fantastic on Instagram, though, right? He's got the greatest reels and stuff like that, and a legend in the industry for sure. I never really took into his style. I'll be honest. It's not my favorite style. But again, talk about fast. That dude is super fast. So I respect him so much as a professional working artist, what he's done for the industry. But his style it really isn't my cup of tea, if I can be 100% honest with you guys. But, you know, a lot of people love John Romita Jr. So, you know, again, not saying that none of you should like him. Like, if you love him, that's fantastic. That's great. Doesn't do it for me, personally. But again, I love his reels. I love everything he's doing on social media right now. And you know, legendary artist. So. Todd Knock is awesome too. Echo, if you haven't seen, I interviewed Todd Knock on my podcast channel, my short-lived podcast channel. If you're looking for a Box Office Artist podcast, you'll actually see an interview I did with Todd. That guy's awesome. He's fast. He's awesome. You know? He's a great guy. Mario said, Jim Lee, David Finch, and James Ray Styles. I appreciate that, my friend Mario. There you go. By the way, Mario's been active on the Discord, guys. By the way, post your art in the Discord, guys, so I can see him. Post them in the Discord. Join the Discord, my friends. Join the Discord. And we'll be right back after these messages. All right. There you go. All right. So thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys are fantastic for joining me this morning. It's 6:30 in the morning right now. We will go till this is finished. I don't have a hard out till 8 today. If we had a hard out till 8, I wouldn't be able to finish this today. But I'll definitely be able to finish these 4 characters. So we will do that. Okay. By the way, I will have a video coming out today. I'm actually thinking, Forever Alone guy says, do you have the Discord link? That should be in the description, my friend. Go to the description of this video, and you should be able to see it there. Okay. Do I like Frank Miller and some of the titles he's worked on? Again, I haven't collected much of Frank Miller's stuff. Okay, of course, he's known for his Daredevil and all his great work. Sin City, I love the Sin City style. I think that's great. But I haven't collected much. Let's just say that. I haven't collected much. I think the last thing I got from Frank Miller was did he do Spawn Batman? He also did Spawn Batman. So, yep, Todd Knock also has on YouTube channel. He's been drawing on Post-its. But talk about one of fast. I respect fast artists. Todd Knock is one of those fast artists. He could pull off 2 pages a day like that. Easy. Todd, you know, we talked about that in my interview with him because he was like the cleanup guy. He was the cleanup guy when he worked for Rob Liefeld. Like, he was the guy that book is late. Okay, give it to Todd. He'll get back on time. He was that guy. And I always say to you guys, when you're in an art profession, if you're working for a company, that's the guy you want to be. You want to be the cleanup guy. You want to be the guy who's known as the guy who's going to get the job done, right? Get the job done, you know? Thank you so much, Jerk. Thank you. Join the Discord. It's coming back. And while I'm doing this, okay, so we're starting to ink now, guys. What should we draw tomorrow? Okay, probably not a Marvel Rivals thing anymore. We'll save that. We'll do another one next week. But do you have a suggestion of what we could draw tomorrow? Guys, okay, let me know. What are we going to draw tomorrow, guys? Well, actually, I won't say tomorrow because tomorrow we'll probably be doing some coloring again tomorrow. We're probably going to go every other day. So one day I'm going to be drawing, the next day I'll be coloring. Okay, but at the very least, it's a different piece. It's a different piece that we're doing. Because I told you guys, I have so many pieces that I haven't colored yet. So yesterday wasn't necessarily a Marvel Rivals piece. It was media coloring a piece. So tomorrow, like, to be honest, what I would like to do tomorrow is the Shredder piece that we did. So... Yeah, I want to show you guys that shredder piece that I was doing, so I want to color that one tomorrow. But again, I will leave it up to you. We will vote. Again, I have so many pieces that I haven't colored yet that need color. I think a good, I'll even tell you now. In terms of, well, actually, even more than that. I'm going to tell you how many pieces I've done that need color right now. So that's how far ahead we are going, because all of these pieces won't have color. I'll color these on stream with you guys. But I'll even tell you right now how many I have that's not colored. So let's see. We have the Armored All Might. We have the Ben 10 that we did the first day of the year. Brave Star, which we did live. We have... I also have this old Captain Underpants piece that I actually kind of want to finish, but we'll see. We have that Flintstones one. We did the second day of the year. Let's see here. The Hercules piece that we did a few days ago. I have an Inside Out piece, which you guys haven't seen. I have of course, the Jim Carrey one we did the day before yesterday. I have Kaido piece. I did this Kaido piece. I have the Kung Fu Panda Villains piece that I drew. It's one of my favorite pieces. I will say that that's probably one of let's just say I really enjoyed how it turned out. I really, really enjoyed how that particular piece turned out. So that one I'm actually excited to color with you guys. I have the Lobo piece that we did earlier. Let's see here. The Popeyes piece we did a couple days ago. Smurfs piece we did quite a few days ago. I have a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends piece of work that I've done. That I'm excited to do. As we mentioned, the Shredder piece. I also did a Wizard of Oz piece. So I reimagined the Wizard of Oz. And that was a lot of fun. So even before doing this outline, I should be... why am I using a 10? Why am I using a 10, guys? Richard, love the Brave Star. There you go. You could spend a whole week of streams. No, I want to go back and forth. One thing I do like about doing it this way is that we alternate. You know, we alternate with me drawing, and then we alternate with me doing color. And I'm not doing the same piece. You know, I think what kind of worried me at the beginning was I was going to be doing the same piece. And not that there's anything wrong with it, you know, 2 days in a row. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But, you know, this again, I'm all about variety. At this point in my career, I'm all about what I didn't do yesterday, or what's the new thing I could draw. So I'm at that point in my career where it's like, okay, I have variety now. So saving the colors for another day. Also, you know what it does? And I mentioned this before, and it's a technique that a lot of artists use. Putting your drawing aside and then coming back to it at a later day to either finish off the actual drawing itself or to do the color, you actually have, you give your mind like a reset, and you kind of look at your drawing with fresh eyes. So it will actually help the overall quality of the art at the end of the day if you give your mind that mental break from it. Now, don't give yourself too much of a mental break. You know, I'm all about finishing what you start. So that's why in stream, unless I really have to leave. Like the other day when I was doing Knuckle Sandwiches piece, I had to leave because I had something to do. So I actually had to finish. But I did finish it that day. I was determined to get that drawing done that day. And by the way, we will be doing more commissioned drawings this week, guys. I will let you know that right now. We will be doing more commissioned drawings. And excited for that. And thank you guys for supporting me in that manner, all of you who got commissions. But again, it doesn't mean you have to get commissions to support me. You can support me for free. All you really need to do to support me, guys, if you really, really want to support me, and I know some of you are very young, your students, don't worry about the money thing. What you need to do is definitely try to catch as many videos as you can. share the videos, like the videos, comment. That supports me a lot. That supports me more than you'll ever know, guys. So definitely do those things. And you are supporting me in everything I do. And I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys spending some time with me every morning. For the amount that you spend. You don't have to spend the whole time with me. If you want, you're busy people. We got lives here, you know. I get it. No problem. But any second that you want to spend with me during the day, I really appreciate it. I really, really do. I really, really do. So thank you guys so much for that, wherever you are in the world right now. So with that in mind, yeah, even whenever I have a sponsored video, clicking on that sponsored video, and you guys don't know this, so you don't know this. Whenever you see a sponsored video from your favorite creator, if you actually go, and even just to go to that site and check it out, what they're promoting, that helps that creator a lot. It really, really does. It does. Because that's what the companies are tracking. They're tracking to see, okay, who's actually going there, who's actually using the link, who's checking out the product. Like, you don't even have to buy the product. You don't even have to buy the product per se. Of course, it's even better if you do. But, even just to check out the product, they actually look at that. How much traffic was driven to their website. Or even at the end of this video, watching multiple videos to support your favorite creator, watching multiple videos, that helps a lot. It definitely helps a lot, for sure. So anyway, let's see how about pick out the favorite pieces and pull it. That's what I will probably be doing for tomorrow. So probably for tomorrow's poll, we are going to be doing the Shredder piece, of course, the Shredder. Probably Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. We'll do that. And I'll also put out, again, just because I need them colored, I probably won't do anything from this year. Probably the Armored All Might and the Kaido. I think that's probably the 4 I'm going to put out tomorrow. I did a Cat Dogs piece. Do you guys remember Cat Dogs? Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Food's ready. Get your food, my friend Mario. Do I play the game? I do not. I do not play. I don't play video games, and I'll tell you why. It's not because I don't want to. Of course I want to. I don't have time. I don't have time, guys. I got, streaming multiple times a day, editing all these videos, coloring, running my business. That takes time. I just don't have time to sit down and play a video game. I just don't. And also having a family, other responsibilities, all of that. All of that. I just don't have the time. So, but that doesn't mean I don't love the designs. I've been looking at them. I've been watching the trailers. I am definitely not a gamer, though, per se. It's interesting how I got a job at Ubisoft, but I'm not a gamer. I don't play games. I got that job because one of my good friends, he was an animation director there, and they were looking for a storyboard artist. So when I did my interview to get that job to work on Splinter Cell, they actually, my friend gave me all these playthroughs to watch, which I did kind of cram for the interview. But during the interview, he wasn't even interested. He wasn't even interested in that. He was just, because it was more on the filmmaker side. So when I worked in video games, guys, when I worked in video games, I was on the animation team. I was a storyboard artist on the cutscene animation team, on the cutscenes. So I was working I was helping the director of the cutscenes storyboard out everything he's doing when they're shooting, all the motion capture stuff. That was quite the experience. I learned a lot over there. So shout out to my buddy Dennis, who who helped me, who got me the job first place, and has been a good friend forever. So hello, Curly, My good friend Curly's here this morning. You are an early bird, Curly, even on a Saturday. Even on a Saturday morning, you're an early bird. It's good to see you. Yeah, video games are a heavy investment for sure. So that's why. That's why. Again, nothing wrong with playing video games. Absolutely. My kids love playing video games. It's just for me, yeah, these days I really have to see how I allocate my time. And as much as I would love to allocate my time to play video games, I don't have the time. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to work out his outfit, guys, his costume. That's another thing. Family responsibilities are monster by themselves. Absolutely, absolutely. What about Blue Lock? What's Blue Lock, Okonye? Okunloye? Can you tell me how to pronounce your name properly, my friend? You're here every day, and I appreciate it. But there you go. Lay means cat dog. Tommy Kitty Show, very. He voiced on Cat Dog, I think, before SpongeBob. Yeah. That's a fun piece, guys. Hopefully, what's it called? Hopefully you get a kick out of that cat dog piece I did. I think of that video too. I'm going to show you guys my dog. My dog. The Barks Office Artist. I have a corgi. I have a Welsh corgi. So cute. I will admit, I was when we got it, we were very influenced by Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You guys watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine? So my corgi's middle name is Cheddar. That's his middle name. Cheddar, the Barks Office Artist. Barks Office Artist. There you go. Let's see here. Do you do any art of Hasbro IPs besides Transformers and G.I. Joe? No, I don't. No, I don't. Let's see here. What other IPs do they have? Well, I guess Power Rangers, right? Power Rangers they have now. Hasbro. What other IPs do? You got to remind me. You got to remind me. Let's see. It's hard to draw Spider-Man, especially if the guy drawing doesn't know how to pose and tried posing like Spider-Man, but he really wasn't flexible. Well, good luck with that, my friend. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Old school Cobra Commander. You know what, Jordan, I would like to draw? In terms of the G.I. Joes. And again, I don't draw many G.I. Joes. But I would say Cobra La. You know, Cobra La, all those characters. Because that's what I remember. That's what I remember for the G.I. Joe movie. Cobra La 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 La. So now, because I'm trying to make this connect to the other piece, the lighting actually should be on this side. The lighting should be coming down from, I think, because I believe I had it more like a top-down lighting. Okay, so I'm going to ink it that way. My Little Pony. Yeah, that's true. By the way, like My Little Pony, like they have their dedicated fans. My Little Pony. Have you heard of the Bronies? Have you heard of you guys have heard of those guys, right? The Bronies. For those of you who don't know, the Bronies are a group of men that love My Little Pony, or like they love the lore of My Little Pony. It's a huge thing. I remember I was doing some charity work at a hospital. So I was doing my show, my Time to Draw show at a hospital in California, and this one kid there, one kid in the hospital. He was a nice kid, but he was a tough kid. He's one of those tough kids. You look at him, you're like, "Rrr." He's like that. He had that demeanor about him, right? Very tough kid. And then we did the fast draw. For you guys don't know, and I used to do this on my channel a lot. Maybe we will do it eventually again. I would do a fast draw where they would tell me what to draw. I would draw it for a minute and then give them the drawing. That's what I would do. It was a lot of fun. Kids absolutely loved it. So it was his turn. And what did he want me to draw? My Little Pony. He wanted me to draw My Little Pony. I was surprised. I was very surprised. And that's when I found out there was a whole group of guys that love My Little Pony. That's cool, man. It's cool. And they're called the Bronies. The Bronies. Could you draw your version of Thor in Marvel Rivals? OJ says. Go check out yesterday's video. I have a Thor in there. I did draw Thor. I drew Thor, Jeff the Shark, Iron Man, and Captain America. Okay, so go check out yesterday's video, my friend. Yesterday's live stream. Not yesterday's video, yesterday's live stream. By the way, guys, today, I will be having a video coming out today. I'm actually thinking about putting out the, because I'm streaming every day now, for the most part every day, I'm thinking about putting out the edited videos in the afternoon instead. So around 6, I'm thinking around 6 p.m. Eastern time tonight, this afternoon, you are going to get a brand new edited video from me. And today I'm actually going to put out the Invincible video. So I drew Invincible. Again, not the most family friendly. Not the most family friendly, but definitely comic book related. So go check that out, okay, guys? Okay, that'll be out later tonight, okay, guys? It's been a year since Matt Pat announced his retirement. That's right. Do I know Matt Pat? I met him. I met him at the Streaming Awards. Wonderful guy. Matt Pat. At that time, he shaved his head bald. Not safe for work or gorish? No. Of course, it's not gonna be gorish at all when I'm drawing it. But I've always wanted to try my hand at doing Invincible. A lot of you guys have requested it, so I gave it a shot today. So go check that out on my channel later today. But Matt Pat, so I actually drew Matt Pat because he won a Streamy at the time. And all of the Streamy Awards winners, they got an original piece from me for that year. I think that must have been, I'm not sure if that was 2018 or 2019. I did it 2 years in a row. So that's where I met Matt Pat. Great guy. Fantastic guy. He was so nice to me. I really appreciated that. And good on him for retiring. You know, if you can, why not? Now I'm sure he'll be back eventually. Because what happens when you're retired? You get bored, right? And I've seen it, man. I've seen it. I saw my father-in-law, like even my parents, like you can only do so much when you're retired. Like you just sit down and do nothing, you know. And you know, my father-in-law, we were always like, "Oh no, don't work anymore. You're retired. Don't work anymore." But he's bored. Dude's bored. And I can only imagine, you know, retiring at a young age. You're gonna get bored, man. Like life's, you know, there's. Now again, if you have the money to do a lot of things, okay, of course, do all that stuff, right? But there will come a time where you're just like, I want to do something, you know. I'll do something with my life. I like me personally. I feel like it. You know, even when I'm retired, right? So like, you know, I've earned enough where I can live comfortably for a while, personally, without having to worry too much about things. But at the end of the day, too, you just kind of want to do stuff, you know. And in essence, that's why, you know, for me, when everything happened in 2001, I think that's why I got back on the horse so quickly, because I just needed to do something. I just needed to get out. You know what I mean? I need to work. I need to get my mind off things, and that really helped me a lot. That really helped me a lot, for sure. How do you deal with burnout? I haven't gotten it yet, Chris. I'll be honest. I haven't gotten it yet. Michael said, "Can I borrow some money?" Come on. I wish I had something to give to you, Michael. No. I wish I got enough to get by. Let's just say that. Salute. Original piece for all the winners. Well, lots of work. It was a lot of work, for sure. It definitely was a lot of work. Now, some were easier than others. Definitely some were easier than others. Like, for example, there was this channel that won. I forget what they're called. 21 doors or something like that. So all I had to do was draw a door with the number 21 on it. You get stuff like that. But okay. By the way, guys, you know, because I'm taking my sweet time talking. You know what? I should have put a timer on this. Let me put a timer on this. So I'm gonna erase this, and we will actually put a timer on this, guys, because I should try to get this done efficiently. I was just kind of hanging out and talking, which I love doing. You guys know that. Okay, but let's go ahead and put a timer on this. I am gonna take 30, maybe to finish this off. Let's go for, I think 20 minutes is reasonable. Let's try 20 minutes. Again, I've been working on this for quite a while now, so I think 20 minutes is reasonable to finish this Spider-Man. There we go. We're gonna go here. 20 minutes. There you go. Let's see here. I'm not sure, Ian. Hello, Jesus. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see. Omni-Man was apparently supposed to be called Supraman early on. Really? Supraman. By the way, also in my Invincible video, because, you know, it was an Image comic, I also put in a few Image Comics drawing that I've done in the past. And then I just realized how what's it called? How similar Youngblood is, because I did a Youngblood drawing, and I just realized how similar Youngblood is to the boys in terms of concept. And when I say concept, just the fact that it's a celebrity group of superheroes employed by the government. All right. Now, again, the boys aren't. I don't think the boys are employed by the government. I'm not too familiar with the franchise. But anyway, I'm actually very excited because Youngblood is one of those titles that got me into comics. They got me actually drawing comics. So again, say what you will about Rob Liefeld's work. A lot of people love to rag on Rob Liefeld. It's definitely the easy thing to do, and for good reason too. For good reason too. However, he was really one of the artists that got me into drawing comics in the first place. Him, right? So, and I met him. He was a cool guy. I wouldn't, no. See, this is my Filipino come on. Wouldn't, no. I've never worked for him before, so I don't know what he's like as a businessman, because people can be good people, but very bad businessmen. Look at me. Just because a good person to hang out with, doesn't mean you're a very good businessman. Doesn't mean you're good in business, right? And trust me, I've worked with guys like that. Fantastic, fun person to hang out with, but as a business person, ooh. But I don't blame him, because it's hard. Like, I've ran my business. It's not easy, dudes. I'm telling you right now, running a business. It's the worst part about being an artist for me. Is running the business, negotiating prices, trying to collect money. Like, all of that's, oh my gosh, it's just a pain, When at the end of the day, we're artists. I just want to draw, man. Let me draw. For anyone looking to sell your art, how would you think about pricing? I always wondered about it. Try to look for comparables. And when I say comparables, don't look at a professional artist. A professional artist can charge way more than you can. That's just how it is, okay? So don't expect to charge the same prices that Jim Lee's charging, okay? People are criticizing Jim Lee for how much he charges. At the end of the day, your art is worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it. So if you were looking to sell your art online, try to research, find people that have the same amount of experience, people that you think your quality is the same as theirs, and then try to sell it for that much. Whether at a convention or online, try to sell it for that much. If nobody buys, then it's not worth that much. You know what I mean? Like, I get guys, I was at cons, and I had guys that were telling me that I was selling my stuff for too cheap, right? And you're like, oh, no, you're selling way too cheap your artwork. You gotta price it up. I'm like, okay, but then no one was buying them. No one was buying them. How can I be selling it too cheaply if nobody's buying the piece, right? Now, if it was a situation where I set a price and then it's starting to sell out, okay, yeah, it was definitely selling it too cheap, right? But it's one of those things. It's hard. Didn't Jim Lee charge 20 grand? You know why? Because he can. You know why? Someone's willing to pay for it. That's why. Hey, if I had charged 20 grand per artwork, I would too. But it's Jim Lee you're talking about here. It's Jim Lee. Hey, what about that guy who sold like a banana with duct tape for $1 million? Or for how much was that? $7 million? How much was it again? The banana with the duct tape? You guys heard about that story, right? But somebody was willing to pay for it. And then he ate the banana. He just did that for publicity. Some people are just so rich they could do that. Like, that's crazy, man. And he ended up eating the banana. Like, come on. You see that? It's crazy. Like, how much do you charge for your times? That's another thing, right? time. Some people say that, and that's what I hate too. I hate people that they come, like, for example, when I'm at a con, they would come at the table and then they would say, how long did this piece of work take you, right? And then you tell them, like, for example, I'll give you an example, and this didn't happen, but just say a lot of modern artists for money laundering. I don't know. I'm staying far away from that. I'm saying, like, I love my family, but with that in mind, like, there are people who come up and then they're like, how long did this piece take you, right? So they see the price on the piece, like, for example, just say, for example, the Unicron piece I did, okay? And if I were to sell that would be thousands of dollars, okay? I'm not letting that go for cheap. No. I'd rather keep it than than selling that for cheap, you know what I mean? But someone will go, that took 16 hours. Oh, that means you're making this much an hour for your time. Like, well, it's more than that, right? Not only you're getting an hour of my time, you're also getting 25 years of professional experience for me to create that piece. So that's the difference. So I think just to say, oh, it only took you this amount of time, that's how much you should charge. I don't think that's fair, because you're not just charging for the amount of time you're working on that piece. You're charging for the experience. You're charging for the skill. So those are two different things, personally. Like, I think, have you guys watched The Future? No E, The Future. He's a businessman. He's a graphic designer, but also a businessman. He has a very viral video about how he was charging for a logo, and he was charging this much, but it only, he was running a what's it called? What's it called? Not a simulation, right? But he was doing a scenario where the client is like, you only worked on it for this long. I shouldn't be paying you that much. You only worked on it for this long. And he brought up a great point. So you're telling me that I made you a logo that you could use. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You can use it right now. I saved you weeks of work. You're telling me that's less valuable than if I took 2 weeks to come up with all these different, all these different suggestions and going back and forth and all that. I saved you time. I saved you money. I saved you time. That's worth more than me, taking all this long to do the logo, right? Type thing. If anything, that should be more. That should be worth more. The fact I was able to get this done in 2 minutes. You don't have to worry about this logo anymore. I saved you time. You should be owing me more money. You know what I mean? So I would definitely check that out, guys. If I were you, check out. So it's a YouTuber called The Future. The Future. Okay, check that out if you get the chance, guys. The Future. Because again, that's one of those things, guys. The business side to art. That is the toughest part. Okay, we got 9 minutes left here, guys. 9 minutes left. Finish all this webbing first, and then we will get to the rendering. So again, guys, it's something I'm actually very passionate about, from a guy who's failed a lot at the business side of things, who's not afraid to admit that I failed a lot on the business side. Because I understand, and you guys understand, how hard it is to do. How hard it is to do the business side of art. It's very tough. Though I will say, though, that if, the way it is now for the comic artist now, it's way easier to earn a living now than it was way back when I was doing comics. Like, because these conventions, they weren't really a thing. These artist alley tables, they weren't that much of a thing back in the day when I was doing comics. They weren't. Like, Comic-Con was a place you would go and, you would try to meet editors and get a job, and it still is. It still is. But today, people, you know, you get tables, you sell your artwork and stuff like that. I was thinking, like, and I was mentioning before, if this convention circuit was around when I was doing comics back in the day, I probably wouldn't have left comics. I probably would have stayed doing comics. But again, guys, I haven't heard back from. Maybe I should message them. I haven't heard back if I got into any conventions, so we'll see. Can't imagine how difficult it is to animate Spider-Man with all that webbing. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's why you look at the original Spider-Man cartoon. He didn't have any webbing on his body. You notice that? He only had it on his head. That's why Spider-Man is actually easier to animate if it's like a 3D show. And that's what they did, right? A lot of these animated Spider-Man shows, they're like 3D models, but they're rendered with a toon shader, so it looks like a cartoon, but really they're 3D models, you know? And that makes sense. Okay, we're down to 6 minutes here, guys. So I'm just doing the finishing touches on the Spider-Man. Again, it doesn't mean I'm not going to work on the Spider-Man more. It just means I'm going to move on to Venom here. A lot of work, but it's fun. That's right. I wouldn't say overcharge super bad, because here's the thing. Sometimes you don't know how much people are... you don't know how much people are willing to pay for your stuff. You don't. See, that's the balance. Because you say don't overcharge, but the thing is you don't know what the ceiling is. You don't know what the ceiling is. You don't know what someone's willing to pay for your stuff. You don't know until you actually start doing it. So the way you would know is if you price your work and then people are buying it like that, fast, okay, you're undercharging. You got to up that price a little bit. Fast? But all you really have is comparables. Like the same one thing was happening when I was doing my brand deals for my channel. So, you know, a lot of times you would see me when I'm promoting a product. You know, that's a brand coming to me and asking me, and I mentioned it in there. There's a brand coming to me and asking me to promote their product. And I could tell when I undercharge them. If they say yes immediately, that means that I could have asked for way more money. And there were a couple of times I gave them what I thought was, I won't say ridiculous, but I thought was a generous price for them. And right away they're like, okay. And you're like, oh, man. I totally could have asked, because no resistance. No, oh, we'll see. We need to check if we have that for the budget. Let me check. Or no renegotiation back. It was, yes. Like, all right. And you're like, oh, man. Oh, man. I could charge for more. But to be honest, guys, for you guys, like if you could sell, great, fantastic. At your experience right now, I would actually focus more on getting better than trying to make money off it. I would focus more on getting better at your skills, because if you get better at your skills, the more opportunities will come, and the more you could charge for your art. I will say this though, experience helps. Experience helps. Okay? You could charge way more for something that was published than if it was fan art. Okay? If it was an actual published piece of work, you could charge so much more for that piece of work than if it was just like a piece of fan art. Like for me personally, all the work you see I'm doing here on YouTube right now, when you compare it to all the original pages I have from when I was working in comics, I could sell those original pages for way more money than I can for this piece, for example. Even though technically I think this piece is better, I could charge way more money for the other one than this, right? So that helps too. Again, guys, it's all about the business. Laying out the business secrets here, guys, this morning. It's a business lesson here on a Saturday morning. But again, take what I say with a grain of salt. Because if I actually knew how to do the business side, I'd be in a better position. There you go. By the way, once again, I do want to mention this. I want to make sure I mention this in every stream, especially because I have friends there in the area. Again, a shout out. And, you know, my heart is with all of those in Los Angeles right now. You know, I have a lot of friends that lost a lot over there. And my heart goes out to them. And so anyway, you know, please do stay safe wherever you are. And our thoughts and prayers are with you guys, okay? So there you go. Must be fairly early in America, Michael O'Gorman says. It is. It is 7:10 a.m. where I am. Even earlier on the West Coast. Richard said. See, Yo-Yo Bird, you're asking the wrong questions. How do you get started selling? By being a better artist. That's how you start selling. I think that's the wrong question to ask for a lot of you guys right now. Because you're already asking how to sell your art, and I know you're eager to sell your art. Put more focus in getting your art better. That's what I would tell you. Because if you get your art better and you get those opportunities, anything that you could sell now would be a drop in the bucket. It'd be so small compared to how much you could make trying to sell your artwork later on, you know? So I would tell you guys, work more on getting your art better than trying to sell right now. That's what I would tell you to do. Let's see here. A lot of AI is being sold on Etsy. It's true. And they're selling it for a lot. And they sell. That's another thing, they sell. I see these AI artists, and I go to their stores, and they're selling their AI prints for a lot of money, like $100 or so. See, I don't even sell my stuff for that much. You know, it's crazy. 3D characters, that's awesome, man. 3D characters. So, anyway, how do you get started? Start doing AI. That's how you do it. Okay, guys, let's get to the Venom. I'm going to give myself an hour for Venom. I probably need less. An hour will bring it up to 8:15. Okay. Again, my heart out today is 9 a.m. Eastern time. Again, I could go a little bit longer than usual today. Have I done much sculpting in Blender? No, I haven't. I'm more of a Maya guy. So I was trained in Autodesk Maya. So I haven't used Blender. Now, again, at the end of the day, a lot of these 3D programs, they're all the same. You know, in terms of what they, they're all vertices. They're all pulling points. It's the same thing. It's just where the buttons are at the end of the day. But I was personally trained in Autodesk Maya. Just to show my age and what's it called? You'll get it. Maya 8 back in the day. And at the time, ZBrush was just starting to be a thing at that time. Just starting to be a thing at that time when I was learning how to do it. So for those of you not in the know, because I don't do much 3D talk here or visual effects talk here, Maya is a 3D software like Blender. Okay, so, but talk about another industry that's being hit by AI right now. Yeah, talk about another industry. man, visual effects is getting hit hard, guys. Hard. I got a lot of friends that are unemployed right now that lost their jobs, that were laid off because of AI. And again, this guy, let's rephrase that. I always say this, rephrase that. It's not the AI, it's the people running the AI that's taking their jobs. It's not the actual AI software itself. It's the people running the AI software. Okay, let's get that straight. But yeah, I got a lot, because I will admit to you guys too, I was actually thinking about going back into visual effects. I was. But because that was my backup plan. Because I know YouTube's not forever, right? Do I expect to do YouTube when I'm 70? I don't know. Maybe. There are 70-year-old YouTubers out there. But that was my backup plan. My backup plan was, okay, I'm going to still try, a few years ago, I'm going to still try to do, and this was seriously my backup plan. I'm going to still try to do the YouTube for a couple years, okay? If it doesn't work out, I was going to go back to school and take visual effects and upgrade what I learned, because I already have visual effects experience, and then go back into visual effects. That was my plan. But now, I don't even think that's a good plan anymore. Because there's so many changes. So many. The art landscape has changed so much. The visual effects landscape has changed so much. The actual job of visual effects artists has changed so much that we don't know what it is anymore. Like, it's so different. And I have a ton of friends that don't have a job right now. You know? Oh, okay. Thank you, Edward. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that. That's my fault, guys. I didn't go to the community questions. Thank you. Thank you so much. But there are 3 questions here. There's only 3. But I will answer your question now, Edward. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, why did I even bother with this, right? Let's just answer in the comments anyway. What are your opinions on Marvel Rivals character design? Too overcomplicated or just the right for the futuristic theme? I will say this, okay, about the Marvel Rivals. I absolutely love them. Love them. But why do I love them? I think I love the proportions of the characters more, so it's not necessarily the designs. Even though I love the designs. But the way they're drawn, or the way they look, I love the look of the characters. That's what I love. Like, very old school, very, you know, there's just something about, they have this quality about though that kind of speaks to me personally. So, I don't think it's about the futuristic design for me. And to be honest, I didn't even think about that, the futuristic designs. I just think the designs are cool at the end of the day. They are cool designs. And that's what attracted me to this particular game when it came out. I think that's one thing that attracted a lot of people when this game came out was, how cool they look. How cool. So whether they fit the futuristic theme or not, it just looked cool. It felt very old school. That's why I love the Fantastic Four, the way the Fantastic Four look in Marvel Rivals. I actually wasn't excited to do a Fantastic Four piece, even with the movie coming out. Common sense says I should do a Fantastic Four piece because the movie's coming out. I wasn't that excited about the costumes I was seeing. Yes, they're very old school and all that stuff, but I was like, okay, it's Fantastic Four. But the one from Marvel Rivals, that got me excited. I was like, these look great. So yeah, I really like it. Rivals is very Overwatch. There you go. Which have you guys seen my Overwatch pieces? I have done some Overwatch pieces, by the way. When I put out my Marvel Rivals video, so the edited video that we did yesterday, I am going to put out that video. And in that video, not only going to show Marvel Rivals, but I'll show some of other Marvel video games pieces that I've done. But also, I'll show you guys the Overwatch piece that I've done as well. So there you go. There you go. But thank you for actually listening and posting in the comments here. Sausage Demon asks, how do you draw the guidelines for different angle heads? There's multiple methods. I think the Loomis method is fantastic for drawing heads. Okay, so if you just look that up, the Loomis method, you'll see some fantastic ways of approaching drawing heads there. So I won't get into it now because I'm trying to finish inking this. But the Loomis method, I think, is a great way to learn how to draw heads. But then after that is experience, guys. Like, a lot of this is experience. Like, you don't see me. I always tell new artists to start with stickmen and stuff like that whenever you're drawing, like drawing the skeleton, doing a gesture. But after a while, once you're used to it, and you have a style that you like and it's tested and true and people are responding to, you don't necessarily have to do all that stuff. Like, it's not a written rule. Like, you could go and kind of draw or lay out a sketch any way you want, because at the end of the day, it's going to come up with the same output. Now, sometimes it doesn't. I do find that sometimes, sometimes, for me, my proportions aren't correct when I do the basics. Like, I was looking the other day at that He-Man one we did the other day. It's one of those things you come back to a piece and you look at it. And I was looking at that He-Man piece and I was like, the proportions are weird, man. Like, it's okay. That 50-minute He-Man piece we did the other day, I was looking at it, I was like, eh. See, I'm confident in my skill to know when I didn't do something right. So that could have probably benefited from me spending a little bit more time on the anatomy of that piece. Because I'm looking at it now, I'm like, oh, not the best. Not the best. I actually want to take that one back. I think, I don't think it looks great. But it's there. I'm going to include it in the actual video itself. But we'll see. The Kamikaze says, James, you should draw DC characters as Marvel rival style. Yes. Someone actually suggested that. Someone suggested I do Injustice as Marvel rivals, but even just regular DC comic characters in a Marvel rival style. And when I say I'm going to do that, it's like... But the issue with doing it that way is, like, they would expect the colors to be kind of similar to it, and you guys know I don't really color in that way. But I definitely could show something that has the same type of proportions as... Oops, I made a mistake already, guys. Made a mistake already. So this goes like that. Yeah, I should always do the symbols first, guys, because I made a mistake. Something like that, okay? Richard, love the He-Man piece. But it's one again. What's it called? League of Legends characters, maybe RCQing. Like I said, I saw another YouTuber do DC characters. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it for sure. Because it's definitely a fun idea. I'm not surprised that somebody already did something like that. But again, it doesn't mean it stops me from doing it, you go. Something like that. Yes, not bad. Knuckle Sandwich is back. Hey, buddy. How you doing, my friend? I showed your commission at the beginning of the stream, by the way. I used it to focus my camera. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. And thanks again. My friend, I will be sending that out. And apologies for the delay. I'll probably on Wednesday, okay? And I apologize for the delay. But I will probably send it out on Wednesday, okay? Just because I have to go to the office a few days, Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday is free, so I can actually go ahead and ship that out to you. So I'll try to get this to you as soon as I can, my friend. It's done. It's done. And we will be doing more commissions, guys. Like my buddy Mario is asking me to do one for him. And we got a bunch of other ones too that a lot of gifts. A lot of gifts. A lot of people want gifts for their loved ones. Some want me to draw their family members as superheroes for a gift, which I'd absolutely love to do. By the way, guys, if any of you are interested in that, I've had a lot of requests to do. People want me to draw them as their favorite superhero. I've done that before. I've definitely done that before. And it's been a lot of fun. So if any of you are interested in that sort of thing, by all means. But I should have, I'm hoping everything will be updated by Monday, guys. I'm going to be working on it today for sure. Because I'm finally a little bit ahead on my edits. A little bit ahead. Wish I was more ahead, but a little bit more ahead on my edits. So hopefully we can get to that. What do you think of Kyoto as Shadow the Hedgehog? I'll be honest, I haven't watched it. I have not watched it yet. So, Lay, but I'll answer your other question, Lay, in the comments here. What is your favorite Broadway musicals? I think you asked these the other day. I apologize, I didn't get to it earlier. The very first musical I've seen was called The Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom of the Opera is there. That was the very first one I saw. We saw it in school. Okay, so the school, I believe it was grade. Oh, it was a long time ago, guys. I would like to say grade 7, grade 8, grade 7 or grade 8. They brought you could. We all went to go see the musical in downtown Toronto. And that was my very first time seeing a professional musical. And I love the experience. It was a wonderful experience. I love seeing musicals. In terms of ones I've actually seen live, I've seen, and again, when you say Broadway musicals, I've never seen one on Broadway, but I have, the ones that had a tour. Okay, let's just say it that way. The ones that had a tour, and I was able to see it in North America. Like I saw Hamilton here in Toronto. I've seen that there. Amazing musical. And to be honest, I actually liked some of the singers better than the originals. But it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. One musical that I saw recently that I fell in love with, because I went into this musical having no idea what it was. And then when I was there, I had such a great time because I didn't know what to expect going into the musical. It's a musical called Six. A musical called Six. It's about Henry VIII's 6 wives, and it was fun. It was so fun. I had a wonderful time watching that musical. So that one, I love that one. Recently, I saw Les Mis for the first time in the theater. Watched Les Miserables. And that was a fun time as well. And then I think the most recent one I've seen is Moulin Rouge, actually. That was the first one. I just saw that recently, a few months ago. And one thing about Moulin Rouge is that, and again, guys, I know not all of you guys are into musicals, but Leia, so one thing about Moulin Rouge is I didn't realize that it was all pop songs. The whole musical is contemporary pop songs. I didn't know that. If you watch the movie Moulin Rouge, there are some pop songs like Roxanne and stuff, but not the ones that you see in the actual musical. Like they sing Sia's Chandelier, they sing I am feeling dirty, just so fresh and so clean. Like stuff like that. They would sing all these songs that I had no idea were in the musical. So I love it when I go to a musical and it shocks. I saw The Lion King. I've seen The Lion King live. I've seen Rent live. So off the top of my head, those are what I've seen. But again, I'm not gonna go too far and talk about my audience not liking wrestling. even more so in when it comes to musicals. But Wicked, okay, so I just watched the Wicked movie, and I absolutely loved the Wicked movie. So that's definitely one on my list. If they have a tour for Wicked in Canada, I'd love to see it. So there you go. Hello, Sarah. How you doing? See the question mark. Richard's in love with Hamilton. And first was Phantom too. There you go. The Phantom of the Opera is there. Okay. Can you talk? How can you talk and draw and design? Again, guys, layout. I wouldn't be able to do any of that if this layout wasn't where it needed to be. I could never talk this much if the layout wasn't where I thought it would be. So, because right now this stuff is gravy to me, like all these little details I'm adding in, it's all gravy. Like your drawing should work whether you have 1,000 lines or like a few lines, right? That's how important the layout is. So if the layout's there, you know, I can't just turn off my brain. This is where I could throw in a podcast and just, you know, work and not care. So that's why. Voice of God. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Edwin. Thank you. Now, I wish I could sing as good as my buddy Jazza. You guys know Jazza. Jazza is a classically trained singer and performer, right? So I wish I could sing as well as my buddy, but he's a classically trained performer. I'm Filipino. That's the difference. That's the difference, guys. That's the difference. I should have opened his hand. Yeah, it's too late now. So you'll get things like that where I look at it, I ink it, I'm like, maybe I should have done this instead, but I'm far enough along now where I'm like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't hurt it too much that I kept the hand closed. Like, the only time it would bother me is if, like, for example, a client said, I want his hand open. Okay, then yeah, fine. But actually, it might be a good thing because if I'm going to add more to this Marvel Rivals piece, I could add more under here and stuff like that, so. Good morning, Titan. How you doing? Good morning. How long are we streaming today? So it's around 7:30, probably for another hour and a half at the latest. If I finish earlier, I definitely will. So there you go. I didn't know you like musicals. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that, my friend. A man of many interests. Well, not many, but again, you're not gonna hear much musical talk here on my channel. But I do love a good musical. I do love watching a good musical. But again, it's like wrestling. Just say a little bit about wrestling here today. I watched SmackDown last night. And my gosh, like I'm watching it for the first time on Netflix. So this is the first time SmackDown, because I'm in Canada, it broadcasts on Netflix here. It's like unwatchable, man. Because in place of the ads, in place of the commercials, they had like this screen, and it's just the wrestlers posing, and it says "We'll be right back," and it has a timer, and it's the same music for every ad break. It was so, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. I was like, I'd rather watch ads than this. I was like, oh my, like again? They didn't even change it up. So sorry. My little mini wrestling rant today. My gosh. Now again, those of you who watched in the U.S., you wouldn't have that problem because you're watching it on USA. But I've never before longed for a commercial. Okay, I want to see a commercial. You're Canadian. I kept asking you about times in America. Well, I am not that far from the American border. About because I live in Toronto. The border's like an hour away, hour and a half away. So I go to the U.S. plenty. So don't feel bad about that. So like I do know what it's like to I have a lot of friends who live in the U.S. as well. I've had only one opportunity to actually go and work in the U.S. And that was when I got right out of college. And now thinking about it now, maybe I should have took that opportunity. That was my opportunity to go to the States but right out of college, the second time, I got interviewed to work for a video game company. I think it was for City of Heroes, if I'm not mistaken. It was for City of Heroes. So I had two choices. I could either work for that. I had two job offers in that case. I had that one, and I had the job offer to work for Stargate. Stay in Canada, though I still had to move. I had to move think about New York to California. That's how far I had to go to move. But those were my two real, I'll say three. I did have a local job to work on a show called Backyardigans. But my one opportunity to work in the States was to work on a game called City of Heroes. And when I say opportunity, I didn't 100% have the opportunity yet. I had to do like a test. They wanted you to do a test. So they wanted to see I could do the job. Right? So it was a modeler job. So I would have to model these game characters. That's what they wanted me to do. That was going to be the job. And that would have been my opportunity to go work in the U.S. Now, again, I ended up taking the Vancouver job, and I lived in Vancouver for 3 years. Again, guys, hindsight is 2020. And if I look back at it now, and you analyze your decisions you make when you were younger, like I analyze decisions I make on my YouTube channel all the time, of course. But you look back and you say, okay, what would have happened if I took that opportunity instead, right? Now, first of all, I wasn't making enough where I was making as much money as we were at the time, with combined salaries and all that. The amount that I would be making wouldn't be enough for that. However, that was my chance to actually move to the States, possibly get other jobs there and all of that. So part of me thinks if I were to make that decision today, I might have bit the bullet and tried it. Knowing how hard it is to actually work in the U.S. today, if that was your opportunity, it's like, And you know, I am a proud Canadian. I love being in Canada. But to have that opportunity, like just to try it, you know what I mean? It's all that what if, you know, what if? What if I did get that shot? What if I did live in the States? Now, if I did, I don't even know if I would have been a YouTuber. I don't know if I would have had the success in YouTube if it wasn't for me going to. I probably wouldn't have, right? So it's just one of those things, guys. It's just one of those things. You think about it. You think about it. You're like, what if I did this? What if I, you always think about that. But at the end of the day, you only spend so much time on it, you know, because at the end of the day, I made that decision. I live with that decision. And I'm happy with that decision. I gained so much experience, working in film, because I could have did it comfortably and just lived at home, guys. I didn't have to move. I had a job offer here. I had a job offer to work on a, I mentioned a show called Backyardigans. My kids love that show. You know, I would definitely be a hero to them if they knew I was working on that show. But no, at the end of the day, I wanted to work in movies. So that's why I made that decision. And I got the opportunity to work in movies. So, anyway, let's see here. Let's see here. Edward says, hey, James, what should I do when I make a mistake during inking? That's tough because it's permanent. So two things you can do. Live with it. You could try to make it work. Face it like a challenge, like an art challenge. You know, how could I turn this into something cool on the page? Or, Old Faithful, whiteout, my friend, whiteout. I have never used whiteout. I think I've only done it once where I had to use whiteout, right? But that's where, laying everything out, doing tight pencils, as we say, that's where it becomes valuable because ink's permanent. Once it's there, it's there. But again, I've done this so much where I'm confident enough where I don't think I'm going to make that big of a mistake if I do make one. And even if I do, I'm confident in my skills where I can either cover it up or I could turn it into something else that's passable, as we say. But that comes with experience. I've been drawing in this style for, I didn't draw in this style when I worked in comics. I'll tell you that much. But I didn't draw in this style till, I think, I would like to say 2007. So I've been doing this style of drawing, or this method of drawing, for, almost 20 years now. So I'd say, 18 years? So it's something I'm personally comfortable in, and it's something like, if I make a mistake, I'm not even sweating about it, really. So, advantage of digital inking, there you go. Like Bob Ross says, happy accidents, there you go. That's right, Titan. Everything happens for a reason. I totally get that. Reading more community comments. That's right. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Let's see if there's more comments here. Oh, that's a cool fact, Lay. The movie Wicked, the guy who says Wizard will see you now is one short day. In one short day is actually Steven Schwartz. Oh, that's pretty cool. Whoops. See, that was a mistake there. I thought that hand was part of this hand. It's not. Advantages of digital inking, my friend. Yes. But again, the best part about inking, though, is the fact that this is it. This is there's only one of these in the world. There's only one of these in the world. Files you could multiply and copy and all that stuff. Like even with, they were trying to say with, what's called? with digital art, that's when they were saying NFTs were a thing. You know, when NFTs were so hot a few years ago. And that was why. Like, digital artists loved NFTs because it was the first time you could actually say, you know, this is the original file. It brought back to the digital artist, yes, this is the original. But man, has that cooled down, eh? You don't hear about NFTs at all these days, do you? Do you guys, or is it just me? I don't hear anything about NFTs anymore. Okay, so that's our Venom. NFTs died in a big fire called Sense. Gary Martin's book on comic book inking is rather good. I had that book. I think I traded that book for a book I needed for college back in the day. Now I do wish I still had that book, but that was a great book. Okay, so I'm just going to finish off these legs here, guys, and then we're going to move on to Peni Parker and the mech. But we made good time. I allotted myself an hour for this, but it definitely didn't need an hour. Just going to go ahead and add extra things. Well, actually, let me erase it first, and then we'll see. Let's see here. Spider-Man, Venom, Peni Parker. Who else? Sorry, I forgot. So Peni Parker is actually two characters, right? So Peni Parker and the mech, those two. And that's about it for this particular stream. That's what we're doing here today. Venom looks mean. He's a mean guy. Yeah, there you go. So we're going to do Penny's mech next. NFTs is in their long flop era because of the carbon footprint issue. Yeah. Yeah, so let's wait for it. It's interesting. It says I have 6 comments here, but I only see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Weird. Anyway. Ever thought about doing a book about how to draw this and that? I have. I definitely have, for sure. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at this right now. And as much as I want to put, because originally I was going to put them up here. And they would be bigger and such. Part of me actually wants to put them here, even though they'll be smaller. And the reason is because you guys know I like to turn these into covers, this book into covers. Reason is because I want to leave room for a title up here, where it would actually say Marvel Rivals and then have the thing here. So we're looking at right now, I can't do that now because of these guys. Or if I did do it, I have to cut off Spider-Man like that. But by doing that, by actually putting here, I actually have the opportunity to draw more characters up here. So I'm actually thinking long term, guys. I'm actually thinking about combining all my Marvel Rivals drawings. So part of me is thinking that might be the better way to go here, guys. So that's what happens sometimes. I make a decision. Now, if I was actually working in the industry, I wouldn't be able to do that. If this was approved by the editor, then this is what I have to go with. right? Now, I could go to the editor and say, hey, I got a better idea for this. And sometimes they'll say go for it. But for the most part, if the client signs off on that layout, I have stuck to that. I can't do that. But now I can. Now I can. So perhaps I could collaborate with Proco. I've texted Proco before. We've talked before because we were in talks about, at the time I was in talks about using the same management as his. And I don't know if he's using the same management as not or not. But I opted not to use the same management after a while because I was talking to my friend, I don't know if you guys know him, Guava Juice, my buddy Guava Juice, who was under that management, and he told me that he doesn't think I needed him. He thinks I could have done it, I could do it on my own, and he told me, he gave me the tools to do it on my own. So, but Sam's doing fantastic. Proco's amazing. Proco is absolutely amazing. So, you know, if he calls, my door's open. You know, if he calls, I'd love to do something with Proco. But again, Proco, talking about great businessman, Proco's a great businessman. He knows what he's doing. Definitely knows what he's doing. Props to Proco. Props to Proco. Let's see here. I love drawing Venom. Oh, me too, Mario. There you go. Did I watch Venom 3? I did not. Did I use reference for the poses? No. However, it's one of those things where if you do see something similar to this, most likely I was probably remembering it or something like in the back. It's one of those things in the back of your head. I've seen so many poses in my life that if you see me do a pose that's similar, it's probably because I did see that pose somewhere, and then in my head, I was like, okay, I'll do that pose, right? But with subconsciously do it, you know what I mean? Type thing. So the short answer is no, but if you find something similar to this, then probably I did. Probably I did. Yes, I do know Guava Juice. He's a friend of mine, yes. I've been on his channel before. I've been on Guava Juice's channel. I've been in one video with Guava Juice before. I don't know if you could search it up, but it's one of those real cakes videos. Yeah, Roy. Yeah, Roy. Yeah, I know him. I know him. Rolanda, yes. Wonderful guy, wonderful guy. He brought me to his studio last time I was in LA. Last time I was in LA, fantastic guy. Fantastic guy. Great guy. So I'm thinking, guys. Now I'm thinking. See, now that's why I'm quiet. I'm thinking, do I want to do that? But again, it gets, because at first I was thinking, okay, I can add more team here, one team here, characters here, and then more characters up here. But now I'm thinking about it, the characters here have to be smaller anyway. So, yeah, maybe I will just do it here. I'll just do it there. Okay. Okay, guys, let's just do that. Roy is the one I actually met and you know, had a conversation with, went to a studio. The other Wasabi, Alex Wasabi, I met him briefly. At the Streamy Awards. Really, really nice guy too. But that's it. Okay. Well, you don't know how big I'm drawing it. It's gonna be small. It's gonna be small. Because again, guys, I want to put the Marvel Rivals title here. And that's mainly why. So I say that I'm actually adding a little bit more detail to this. Because again, the hope is I'm going to add this to the Marvel Rivals piece yesterday. I'm going to actually combine it. So there you go. Okay, take care, Richard. Take care. I have an unfinished drawing where the sides are turning yellow. I thought cutting those off those areas and other people finish those areas to tape it back to the rest of the drawing. Yeah, that totally works. You know, when we do double page spreads, what do? I take 2 of these papers, I stick them together, and I tape the back. That's what I do. So nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong to do with that at all. Yeah, Laura DIY, Smosh. I'm not familiar with that Fred YouTuber. I'm not sure, but yeah. Because I always say to you guys too, a lot of people want to be YouTubers. I always say to them, it's really not a long-term career. Most YouTubers, they turn it into something else, or they turn it into businesses, and they ended up just running their business full time. It's very rare to see a YouTuber today that was around 10 years ago. Right? Very rare. You got the exceptions of those guys that were able to reinvent themselves, right? Like it was his name, Ray William Johnson. Ray William Johnson. That guy, you know. Talk about a guy that reinvented himself, right? Like he did a show called Equals 3. It was so popular back in the day. And then he tried to do the MatPat thing where he retired and then got someone else to do the show. It just didn't work for him. I feel MatPat stuff's doing well though. I think he's fine. But and then like if you see, like he was on Logan Paul's podcast, and at the time he wasn't doing the TikTok stuff yet. He didn't know too much about TikTok at the time. And then he got huge on TikTok, and now he put all that stuff on YouTube, and all of that stuff's blowing up. Right? I think he's more popular today than he was back then in the Equals 3 era. In a way, that's why he's kind of a guy that I admire. You know, a guy that did it before and who was able to rejig things and then where he is today. Because even now, like Ray William Johnson, like on what's it called? On TikTok, he was trying a bunch of things. He was doing roasts, right? He would roast people on TikTok, but then he would get community guidelined and all that stuff, right? Community reported. So that didn't last too long. But then, by the way, I'm going to pull up some Penny Parker reference here. But then he started doing these crime stories. And again, he's using AI. The whole thing's AI generated, eh? The whole thing's AI. Pew pew. Until, so maybe some of you won't like his stuff because it's AI generated, you know? It's so obvious. He's actually promoting AI, what's it called? He's sponsored by an AI site. So that part's bad, but I don't blame him. But it helps him tell his stories fast, you know. Because the amount of art, if you had a professional artist draw that stuff that's in his videos today, like of course that would take forever and it would be very expensive, very very expensive to do that. But you know, there's the good and the bad. You take the good, you take the bad, you take the good, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life. Oh, thank you, Superbad. I appreciate it. Pew pew. Pew pew. Well, they have to do that, or else he can't monetize his video. That's the thing, right? Now I'm trying to keep everything in frame. See, guys, this is where I go quiet. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm working your art for my GCSE final project, Carl says. Do you have any tips or help I could use? Thanks. Explain to me what this project is about, my friend. Let me know what that project's about. Then I can probably help you a little bit more. Well, by the way, a lot of by the way, what's it called? I had a lot of requests of some have asked me to do interviews with me for their school paper and stuff. And first of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, wanting me to do that. It does mean a lot to me. Don't get me wrong. It's just I just don't have the time to do those type of interviews right now. Okay, because a lot of people, and again, I appreciate everyone that that requests that. I appreciate everyone who requests that. Thank you so much. But at the end of the day, though, I only have so many hours during the day, and it's very, very tough for me to commit to doing things like that. So, so please don't take that as a slight. Well, if I can't help you with your school paper or not, and I wish you the best, and I thank you so much for following. I just don't have the time for that kind of stuff right now. But I do appreciate you wanting me to do those for you. I do. So. Let's see if Chuck. Okay. Well, Charlie, if you're there, just go in the chat and let me know if you could explain to me what that project is. I can help you out a little bit more. So. There you go. I was looking for better reference for this guy. Okay. Giant Pigeon says loves the Marvel Rival suit. I'm with you. I think that, to be honest, though, I do think that's another reason why it's so popular right now. Like, it's the best version of costumes we've seen in a while. Yes, it feels like Overwatch. Yeah, for sure. I get that. But at the same time, like, I love the Fantastic. I love it, guys. Absolutely love what they did for the Fantastic Four. I think it looks fantastic. So, by the way, guys, if you what I'm going to start doing this week, so any comments you leave on any one of my videos, okay, I will do my best to answer them on stream, okay? That's what I'm going to answer. Not necessarily in the video itself, but on stream. Okay. Oh, by the way, guys, I think we're at the point now where which one would you like me to draw tomorrow? Actually, I'll put that up. We're doing coloring tomorrow. So I'm going to put up that poll shortly. We will do that before the stream ends. Okay, so you guys will always be the first to vote on what I draw. Kind of looks like Ant-Man, eh? A little bit. So I am looking at reference here, guys, but I'm adjusting it a bit because his body's a little bit more turned. And again, when I go quiet, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure everything out. So, what pen is that? Yeah, it's a Micron, my friend. Why don't I draw pencil shading? Well, because that's not my style, my friend. That's not how I draw. You got any socials, other socials I should follow up on, John Pigeon? Well, you can find me all over at Box Office Artist. That's where you can find all my socials. Okay, something like that. What does his hands look like? His hands long. So guys, I'm just looking for reference for his hand. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to erase here, guys, and then we're going to add some detail to them. Okay? Does Marvel Rivals have an account where they share character artworks and concept art? I'm not sure. I don't know. I have no idea. You guys can tell me. My only nitpick with the Fantastic Four is that they have white suit instead of the classic blue, though. The Four itself is blue. Well, no, I just, you know... So again, yeah, well, it's up to you. Again, it's like everybody has their, I know. I keep saying, I know. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from for sure. I just like it. At the end of the day, I think it looks cool. So no, I get where you're coming from though. You know, because just like everything else, it's subjective, right? Everything is subjective. My drawing here is subjective. A lot of you guys like it, some of you don't, and that's fine. That's totally fine, you know. Me personally, I really love that design. I really do. But it's just like everything else, you know. Like for example, I'll give you an example of this. What's it called? Last Jedi. We're going back to that Last Jedi. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Last Jedi. No. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Let's just say that. I didn't think it was what it was going to be. I think I liked Rise of Skywalker more than a lot of people did. I really enjoyed Rise of Skywalker. A lot of people hated Rise of Skywalker, right? So it's like, yeah, to each his own, man. To each his own. And I always say this too. When somebody doesn't like something, they're right. They're right, you know? Okay, take care, Mario. Have a wonderful day. If someone doesn't like something, they're right, because that's how they feel. When somebody doesn't like a music artist, they're right, because that's, for them, they're right. You know what I mean? Now, for others, That doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to not like it. You know what I mean? You know, because people get that way with movies, right? When movies, you know, so somebody's like, you know, you don't like a movie, and then some people will go, hey, no, 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 you should like the movie because of this, this, and that. Give it another chance. Like, no, I don't like the movie. That might be true. Everything you're saying is true, but at the end of the day, I didn't get that feeling when I watched that movie. So that's how I felt, you know? But people are so determined, and then they'll call you names, right? If you didn't like a movie, I'll give you an example. I didn't like Dune. I did not like the recent Dune movie. Now, I haven't seen the second one. They said the second one's really good. I haven't seen the second one. But I didn't like the first Dune. I did not like the first Dune. I was telling people I actually liked Eternals better than Dune. Okay? That's how I felt. Okay? That's how I felt. I had people calling me stupid. I had people calling me all these names. Because of that. Because they had that opinion. Well, no, you know. Because I don't agree with your opinion. That makes me that, you know. Teach his own, man. If you like this work, great. If you don't like this work, great. No problem, you know. See, for example, let's see. Michael said, Rise of Skywalker hurt his soul. There you go. See? Knuckle Sandwich said, I like Morbius more than the Eternals. There you go. Again, you're not wrong. You know, I didn't mind. Here's a hot take, too. I didn't mind Morbius. I actually liked Morbius. I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it on a plane. And I was like, it's not bad. I think it was bad. I had a good time watching it. That's the subjectivity of film, guys. Subjectivity of film. There are films I walked out on that people loved. And that's fine. So anyway. My mini rant for the day. Mini rant. At the end of the day, I like what I like, you like what you like. Oh, I think that was for this character before, so that was the hour for that piece there, so we don't have to worry about that. I like what I like, you like what you like, we all friends. Yeah. That's right. We can exist. I like the movie. You don't like the movie. That's fine. No problem. Like again, was it Eternals my favorite Marvel movie? No, definitely not. And to be honest, there is a reason why they're not doing a sequel to Eternals. But I will say, I did like Morbius. Okay, so I'm just going to drop Penny Parker here, and then that's pretty much it for this stream, guys. You know, looking at it now, I probably would crop this cover like this. I would crop it over. I'm going to probably crop it just a tiny bit like this, you know. So there you go. Let's see. What's your favorite episode of Agatha Long? I'll be honest. I haven't seen the series. I haven't seen it. Again, like series are time commitments, man. But even though those they're short. Like I believe those Agatha Long videos, they're only like 20 minutes or so, right? But still, it's a time commitment for me, guys. So I haven't seen it. The only one I might actually invest the time is Daredevil. I say that now, and maybe not. I'm not sure, right? So, ever thought about drawing Carnage from Marvel from all his comic books? So doing a Carnage, like all the Carnages ever. That's a possibility for sure. Definitely, that could be a possibility. Probably not something I'll do soon. Though I don't think there's that many versions of Carnage, right? So yeah. See, Lisa, I don't like plain rice. There you go. I love plain rice. I absolutely love plain rice. I got a friend who... no, I won't say that. Let's see here. Echo loved the Marvels movie and Captain Marvel. You said it. Okay, awesome. I liked Captain Marvel. The Marvels movie got... I'll be honest, I didn't finish the Captain Marvels movie. I got through half of it, but it got a little too campy for me, personally. And again, just, because you liked it, you liked it, that's fantastic. That's great. That's great. Got a bit too... Like, when they got to the singing planet and stuff, I was like, what's this? Okay, but if you liked it, you liked it. I'm a singing guy, too. I love singing. You guys know that. But that's awesome. That's awesome. Last Disney show Giant Pigeon watched was Moon Knight. Yes. Did you like the Moon Knight series? Some people didn't like the way it ended. Oh, by the way, guys, if you are a wrestling fan, unfortunately, Seth Rollins has confirmed he is no longer in Captain America. His part got cut. So we're not going to see whatever Seth Rollins' character was going to be. That's what he said in his last interview. So, unfortunate. Unfortunate, but what can you do? How do you draw small characters in small spaces? Just like that. The GSC project is based off the massive monster design of your massive Galactus. Okay, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. What does GSC stand for? So you're making a massive monster and Galactus-style character. Okay, awesome. I will tell you this, okay? And I mentioned this before, okay? So if you're doing a big thing like that, fantastic. Prioritize layout and proportion over detail. That's what I will tell you, okay? Yes, it should have the detail. They're big characters, but I will tell you what's more important than the detail. What's more important than this detail is the proportion. The proportion of the characters, okay? Proportion and layout of the characters. That's way more important than the detail, okay? Now, it's great you want to add, my Galactus-style details to it and all that stuff. or what you see in my Godzilla stuff. Fantastic. That's great. Proportion and detail, or proportion and layout. Proportion and layout, that trumps all that detail. Okay, I'll tell you that. Detail is gravy. Okay, so my biggest advice to you, don't skimp on the layout. All right, don't skimp on it. Make sure that works. It should work to the point where you don't need all that detail. Like all the detail's extra. All the detail is, okay, it's great, it's there, but it would still work without it. Okay? So that's my biggest advice to you, okay? Make sure that's right. If that's right, you can, then all the lines look cool. I will also say, concentrate the detail where there's shadow. Have more detail where you think there's going to be shadow. Less detail where there's going to be light. So I'm just going to have her arm here like this. That's what I would tell you to do, okay? Less detail. Less detail where there's light, more detail where there's shadow. But at the end of the day, none of that matters unless everything is fine. I remember one time, and I think I told you guys this story before. We were looking for a new background artist at Dreamwave. So I was running a little challenge so we could find a background artist. So what we did was we put up a page, a black and white page, just the characters, and we had people go and we had people that would draw the backgrounds behind it. And then one guy submitted a portfolio where he did this like landscape. He did this landscape, and he literally drew every single blade of grass. Every one. Must have taken him days. He drew every single blade of grass. It was impressive the amount of work he put in it. However, his perspective was off. It was so off. So it didn't matter how many blades of grass he drew. It didn't matter. It didn't matter how much stuff he put in it. It didn't matter. It looked bad. So that's why I keep telling you guys, detail does not make the drawing. Yes, you know, people get known for the detail, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work without the structure there. So work on the structure first, guys. I'm telling you right now, work on your structure first. Detail, as fun as it is, that could come later, okay? Work on getting the structure right, the way the faces look right. Look at the way the mech, is the perspective right on a mech? Are you drawing a robot? If you're drawing a robot, is the perspective right on the robot? Because I've seen that too. I've seen people draw at all these detail to a robot, but their perspective's off on the robot. It just doesn't look right. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much detail you add. Okay? It doesn't matter. If, you know, that part doesn't look good. Okay? So that would be my biggest advice to you. Okay, my friend. Let's see here. My friend, forgot your name. I'm going to make sure I know your name. My biggest, to Charlie, okay? And good luck to you. And I'm assuming you don't have those problems. So, you know, I'm sure you're going to do fantastic with your project. And good luck to you there. That's what I would say to you, okay? Those two things. Number one, make sure the layout and proportions are the best they could be. Then you don't have to worry too much about the detail. And then when you do detail, okay, more in the light, less detail than where there's shadow. Okay? And hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. As we're coming down, finishing this off here, guys. Hello, Cross Comics. Good to see you. So there you go. What if season 3 had a mecha episode? Oh, what if season 3? What if season 3 had a mecha episode? Yeah, that's right. Those Marvel mechs. Then that's an interesting one. I think, and I could be wrong. before I got my job on Transformers Armada, I had an interesting conversation with someone to do something for Marvel right before I got that Transformers Armada job. Or right before I started that Transformers Armada job. And I think it was doing that. I think it was doing Marvel Mechs. I think it was. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But a lot of my friends worked on that initial comic of Marvel Mechs. So I've been familiar with that property for quite a while, like a long, long, long time. Marvel Mechs. So I've always been thinking about doing one of those here. But we'll see. Like I said before, guys, as of right now, I'm only drawing things I'm interested in. Not that I'm not interested in drawing mechs. I love drawing mechs, and I will be doing one soon. I'm not really into the... Right now, I'm going to try to build up to doing those detailed drawings again. So we'll take some time. Oh, yes, Cross Cosmos. Yes, that's right. I did that Canadian Shield commission for you at Hamilton Comic Con. It was great meeting you there, buddy. Great meeting you. I did see the color. It looks fantastic. Great job. I think you did a fantastic job coloring that piece. For sure. And thank you for stopping by to my booth. And it was wonderful meeting you there, buddy. Wonderful meeting you there. Okay, guys. I think that's about it for this piece. Let me take a look. I don't know how it looks on the screen here. Let me take a quick look how it looks. Okay. There's one thing. Maybe I should outline one thing. Look at the over top. See, originally I had Penny Parker up here in this corner, but I want to leave space for the Marvel Rivals logo there. So yeah. I want to leave space for the Marvel Rivals logo. And actually, again, I probably will crop this a little bit when I get done the final. Because also two things I wanted to do with this particular piece here, guys. As you see me standing up, trying to adjust a little bit more detail to it. Two things I wanted to do was, number one, have a piece that could stand on its own. And I hope this does that. But also, I do want this to connect to the piece I did yesterday. And I think it does. I think it does. So I think we are okay there. So I think I'm going to just finish off a little bit of this here, guys. And then we are going to call it a stream. So thank you guys for joining in again on the stream. It was a lot of fun, for sure. You guys will be the first to vote, okay? So I'm going to put up a poll today. We are going to do Shredder. We have Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Maybe I'll do Kung Fu Panda villains. Yeah, let's do that. And Armored All Might. Let's do that. Let's do that, okay? So, hold on. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. Looks fire. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let me just try to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. That's where we are with this particular piece right now. And thank you guys for voting. Now, stay with me, guys. I am going to add another poll. Here's, and then let me just grab the images quickly. Nobody has his JPEGs anymore. Okay, so I'm just putting up the poll for tomorrow. By the way, if you have any questions, now's a good time to ask. Was that a JPEG? I didn't even know that was a JPEG. It is. Yeah, it was a JPEG. I wanted to do Kung Fu Panda villains. PNG. That's a WebP. 1 second, my friends. I'm just trying to get reference here. A reference. I'm looking for images. Tai Lung. this one. Ah, it's a web P. I hate web Ps, guys. Maybe this one. Is web P2? Oh, good. Okay, okay, that's not. And then we are doing Shredder, of course. Actually, I will admit, Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady. 3. Just seeing if there's an image with all 3 in it. Then I can put in the thing. Oh, maybe just Shredder. Well, actually, I have a Shredder image in there already. And the other one is... I think that's it. Unless we go to the new ones. Because again, I want this to be a little different than the last poll. So let's do Armored All Might, okay? Oh. Nobody has JPEGs anymore, guys. Nobody has JPEGs anymore. Well, that's the thing. Like, WebPs work. WebPs work in Photoshop and all that stuff, but it doesn't work when I'm trying to put a poll up. Would this work? This would work. That won't work. Okay. Okay, so let's make this poll, guys. We're gonna make this poll quickly, and then we're gonna call it a stream. So. And then we'll do it together, and you guys will vote, okay? All right, so any last minute questions you want to put in, by all means, please do. This is my Shredder image from the other day. We'll use the same one. Let me reposition these images here like that. I think that should be fine. Okay. While I edit this, you guys can watch. Okay. So we're going to option 1. Now, again, with all these pieces, guys, if there's time, I will do a time challenge too. If not, then we'll stick to the color. So we've learned from the past 2 we've done. We've done one for He-Man, and we did one for Marvel Rivals yesterday. The He-Man one, we had time. The He-Man one, we had time to do a time challenge. The other one, we didn't. So we'll see what happens. So this is Shredder. Bop. Rocksteady. We have Kung Fu Panda villains. And then we have Armored All Might. Now, if we do Armored All Might, for sure, I guarantee we'll do a time challenge. If we did All Might, doesn't need All Might. If we do Armored All Might tomorrow, I guarantee we'll be doing a time challenge with that. So, say what? Vote. What should we draw color for tomorrow's stream? And then I'll put that. Tomorrow is January 12th. Okay, so I'll post this right now. There it is. Okay, guys, get a voting. Get a voting. You're the first to vote. Okay, and thank you guys for voting for that one. Really appreciate it. So that is the vote. Let's see if anyone voted right now. See if anyone voted. Oh, nobody voted yet, but what I will do is I'll copy this. Okay, and then we'll go back to this the drawing here. And I'm going to put it in the chat, guys. I will put it in the chat. Let's see. Superbat said, another hard pick. You sure may make it easy. There you go. The poll is right here, my friends. Go to this. So it should be in... The link should be in the comments there, in the chat. Okay, go there, and that's where you vote. Okay, vote. And then we will do that, alrighty? It's funny, Michael. Alrighty, guys. You guys are the best. Michael voted. Michael voted. There you go. Michael voted. There you go, Michael. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any voting right now. Let's see. So that's there. You guys vote. Okay, let's see. Even there's like 5 votes or 2 votes. Let's see. Let's see right now the vote. You guys ready? Let's refresh. 25 votes. Oh, Kung Fu Panda villains. Oh, no. 25. Yeah, now, again, guys, this happened last time where I thought one was going to win right off the bat. And then it turned out another one just came in like right after. And took over for the win. So far so good. 25 Kung Fu Panda villains, and I'll tell you guys, it is probably one of my favorite drawings that I've done so far. So if that wins, fantastic. Any one of these, if it wins, I have a piece for all of them, so I can't wait to do all of them for you. But there you go, guys. Thank you guys for joining in on this morning stream. We went a little bit longer than usual, but then again, I did start later than usual as well. So thank you guys so much for joining in on the stream. So whatever platform you are watching on, thank you guys so much. So a huge shout out to Arian, to Lay, to Chris, Shredder for Life, Sean Keown, good to see you here. Andre, good to see you. Wanted Spider-Man and his amazing friends. By the way, if for those of you younger guys, you don't know how important that cartoon is to my career. That actually got me started drawing. So there you go. Michael, of course. Michael Gorman, of course. Sebastian. There you go. Joseph, good to see you here. Sewer Bats, Cross Comics, of course. You know, let's see here. Lay, of course. Don't forget Lay. Yeah, all you guys. Giant Pigeon. All of you guys. Knuckle Sandwich is still here. Good to see you, brother. Joseph's here. Walter, good morning. Just voted. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. So I have a feeling that, you know, we'll call us more seasoned guys are going to vote for Spider-Man and his amazing friends. But there we go. That's so craven, Knuckle Sandwich. That's so craven. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. Have yourselves a wonderful Saturday, whether it's Saturday evening, Saturday night, Saturday morning, early Sunday, whatever you are in the world. Have yourselves a wonderful little day. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It means so much to me. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of that fun stuff. Check out jamesroysmedia.com. And my name is James. I am the box office artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. I'll see you all next time. I'm also here to say artists assemble. Take care, everyone. High five. High five, everybody. High five. Titan 413, high five. Thank you so much, guys. Take care, everyone. Wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.